So please tell me about yourself.
My name is Manish Kumar, and I have 3.5 years of experience in Java SE, Java EE, Spring, Spring Boot,
Okay,
microservices, and few of the design pattern I have used in my previous project.
okay, okay, okay. So, you have used what kind of technology? Just one moment. Spring transaction, Spring MBC, Spring security, Spring boot, right?
Yes, yes.
And Java, which version?
Java 1.7 and 1.8 both I have used.
Okay, so let's start with core Java. Okay,
Okay. Yes.
so what are the basic feature of object-oriented programming?
In object-oriented programming, there is a polymorphism,
Mm-hmm.
and there is two type of polymorphism: inheritance and so these features overloading, overriding.
Mm-hmm.
So these all comes under object-oriented programming.
Mm-hmm. Any other?
Yes. Any other encapsulation,
Abs-
data hiding, abstraction.
So what is encapsulation?
Encapsulation is a combination of data hiding and abstractions. So I want to suppose to hide some logic, and I want to show a few set of logics. So in that case, we are hiding the data by writing private as a access modifier, and securing the data, and exposing a few very set of the services to the customer, and hiding secure data. So this is called encapsulation. It's a combination of data hiding and abstraction.
Data hiding is abstraction and encapsulation,
Uh, Encapsulation is a combination of data hiding and abstraction both.
both.
Yes.
Mm, so how will hide? You aware about encapsulation, binding the data and method into the single unit. This is encap.
Yes.
Hmm?
Data hiding, like suppose in our class, set of uh, fields are there which I don't want to expose. So in that case, we are writing the private access modifier in front of that, so that nobody can access directly of the particular field. So that is called data hiding.
Data hiding. Okay. So this is the part of encapsulation, right?
Yes, we can say that it's a parts of encapsulation.
Okay. So I believe that hiding data and is not a part of encapsulation, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
this is a part of encapsulation is a different thing, and I believe that abstraction is a different thing. But you are collaborating all things in one way, right? So let's move on other question. How do you make singleton class?
For making singleton class, first of all, singleton is in our project, we want a particular object regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, we are creating only one single object and providing entire project, right? So in that case, we are making that class as a singleton class. So for making the singleton class, first of all, we are writing the attribute of that particular class, and we are inside that we are putting the condition. Suppose if that object is null, then only we can create the object and return the same object to the callee. So in that case, if the object is not null, then we are returning the same object. If the object is null, then we first of all create that object, and we will return the same object to the callee method.
Mm.
So this is called singleton. This by through like this we are creating singleton class. But the problem is in multi-threaded environment. it's throwing the duplicate objects. So in that case, we are using that in method. We are writing the method as a synchronized method, so that at a time only one thread can access that particular method, so that we can't get duplicate objects.
So in other way, have any writing a singleton class?
Actually, I have used two way, normal way, and one multi-thread environment I have used. So these two singleton I have created in previous project.
You aware about enum?
Enum, yes, I am aware about that.
So what is the role of enum?
Enum, like, it's a customized, we are creating like a customize, so that we can call that customized field and we get some particular value, like, employee salary, employee high salary. So we can directly write employee high salary is equals to whatever, like 50,000. So once we directly call that employee high salary, we will get only 50,000, like that, output.
Through
So,
enum.
like,
Enum.
yes, enum.
So can we make a final class by using any enums? It is possible or not?
Final class.
By using enum or enum itself as a
Uh,
final class.
uh, Sorry, I'm not getting this point.
Enum you aware about? Just to look, can we make it so many way of designing singleton class? You aware about Spring framework, right?
Yes, yes.
So Spring framework on singleton design pattern or any other pattern.
By default, the scope of IOC container is singleton,
Hmm.
and if I want to prototype, we can change the scope, like prototype and session, like that.
So that
But by
way,
default, it's a singleton.
can also make a singleton, right?
Like which way?
Spring framework. Suppose if you are using Spring framework by default, that make as a singleton, right?
Yes, yes.
So that way can we go by using this design pattern, right?
Yes, by this way only.
And can we use enum? Enum through the enum can we make a final? Uh,
Actually, I'm not much aware about enum.
okay. So suppose I will tell one example. So just to give the example, give the answer about that. Suppose the
Okay,
class, any class have A. So that class I am making one variable and method. Suppose variable is a public string name. Okay, is equal to
okay,
ABC. Okay, anything else you can
okay,
put. And
okay,
method is having public void display. Okay, here I am writing uh, system out dot println display. Okay, and another class I am making B, extend class A. So here I am writing uh, same thing, just public string name is equal to xyz. Okay, and
okay,
method is a private void display. Here I am writing system out dot println uh, display B. Okay,
okay.
so it is possible to override this method in this class.
We have a public, and we are extending public class, right? So in that case, we can override that method.
If suppose I am
So
going to reverse means I am
reverse.
writing reverse means I am writing private in superclass. Okay, private
Okay, okay.
void display
Then we can't access. Then we can't access.
contexts.
We
So,
can't override. We can't override.
but suppose I am just removing override. So, that program will run and compile or not?
Standing V.
Both are private. Just assume that.
Okay. So in that case, we will get like compile time error.
How?
We can't because it's a private, so we can't access that method first of
No,
all.
so
And
who is telling you access? Because of both are private, so both are defined
yes,
itself class. So how will you get compile time error? Because of
because both are calling the display method, right? So for in that case, compiler
both.
will have a ambiguity issue.
No,
Okay,
how will come
sorry.
ambiguity issue? Because of you already telling not have access to outside if you write private in superclass, okay, and same method
Yes.
you are writing in subclass, so subclass will assert itself that display method, not associate correlate with the superclass, so this will compile and run because no have relation between both classes of methods, right? Uh, so I'm moving next question. Suppose just I same scenario I'm taking, just removing method and everything. Okay, I am writing
Okay.
constructor A
Okay.
and I am printing constructor A. Okay, class
Okay.
B extend class A. Here I am writing constructor B. I am printing constructor B.
Okay.
Okay, now I am
Okay.
making a main method. Here I am calling the object of class b is equal to new b. Okay,
Okay.
so in that case which constructor will call first?
B equals to new B, and so the runtime object like B class object will call a method constructor call.
Why so so how do you tell b will call? Because of you are extending
Yes, we are
to
extending, and that
a.
we have constructor, right? So in that case,
Because of
sorry.
b class I have access the feature of class a, so constructor a definitely will call.
But here we are creating based on the runtime object. We will call that particular constructor. So new B is so here is a runtime object is B. So V class constructor will call only.
B class constructor will call only.
Yes.
Both will call. First will call constructor A and then will call constructor B.
Okay.
Just now moving on next question. You aware about hash table and concurrency hash map
Yes, I'm aware about hash table.
and
Hash
concurrency,
table and hash map. Yes.
but you're not aware about concurrency hash map, right?
Concurrent hash map. Basically, I worked with list like array list and list and set most of time. But I'm bit worked with like hash map. Current, I didn't get a chance to work with her concurrent hash map. Basically, when I've used servlet at that time, little bit concurrent hash map concept I have used in my project, but not much used like concurrent hash map.
No, so why? Because of concurrent hash map is simple, it is functioning and everything as a similar hash map. So, but difference, just
Yes,
I want to ask about the difference.
but
What is difference between hash table
but
and concurrent hash map?
concurrent, yes, concurrent hash map is working on the it will work on multi-threaded environment, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but but hash map it's a simply like creation of bucket and all like that it's
No,
working.
I am asking about hash table.
Hash table.
Hmm. Okay, no problem. You just tell me what is difference between hash table and hash. map.
Um, HashMap HashMap is a implementation of map, and it's a we are putting we are saving the data inside the map like key and value.
Hmm.
In HashMap, tree pattern
Hmm.
internally, hash table.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So these are the difference.
So what is difference between array list and linked list?
Um, Array list and linked list, basically, in both of the case, like we have, suppose, based on the requirement, we are choosing the which way we have to go, like array list or linked list.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
suppose we have a in our collection, we want some fetching, like fetching the data. So in that case we will choose array list, and insertion or deletion, so in that case we are choosing the linked list. Apart from that, no difference are there. So we have to choose which concept we are, based on our requirement, we are we go with linked list or array list. So if
Okay.
the updation or deletion concepts comes, then we go through the linked list.
Okay. Uh, Insertion and deletion go with linked list.
Linked list, yes.
Okay.
And for fetching, we will go with the array list.
So suppose I will ask about, you aware about tree set?
Yes, yes.
So suppose I have a tree set. Tree set
Okay,
ts is equal to new tree set. Okay. I am adding
okay,
two values. One is a ts tree set, means you have just you imagine the reference is ts, okay, of tree set. So
okay,
ts
okay,
dot add null object nul and ts dot add abc. I want to
okay.
print system out dot println ts. So what output you will get?
For the t-shirt, like the null will be there, but only one time, right? So
Hmm.
it's a null and then ABC. The second whatever we will add. So, but if I suppose to one more time add the null value, then it will throw the exception.
No,
So
suppose I am
only.
first time I'm adding null.
Mm-hmm.
Second time
Okay.
adding ABC as a string. So
Okay.
what will happen?
First of all, null and then ABC.
Hmm.
Yes.
It will print null and ABC.
Yes.
So tree set is ordered set or any other things.
Mm. It's a order set.
So order set how will
But
work?
but in set it won't preserve the insertion order. So
No, but
like whatever we.
it will compare the null object to the real value. So it will possible.
Yes, this will be possible.
Means null, if I will tell you,
Like any order, like first ABC and then
if
null, or
suppose
null or
suppose
ABC.
suppose I will tell you null equal to equal operator abc,
Okay.
it will be feasible.
Equals operator ABC. In this case, it's a failure. Yes.
So how do you tell like that it will give null and abc?
Yeah.
It will give null pointer exception.
Exception. Yes.
So just moving on, a few question of database. You what database you have used?
I have used SQL and Postgre and DB Viewer.
Postgres. DB Viewer is a tool, I think, not a database, right?
Yes, it's a kind of tool, but inside DB Viewer, so many databases are there, like MySQL, Postgre, like that.
So which database you have used?
I
That is
have used Postgre and MySQL.
Postgres and MySQL. So what is difference between MySQL and SQL?
MySQL is a is a workbench, and SQL is a query language.
Okay.
and we are operating that query language. We are it's a kind of a UI for the SQL query language, MySQL.
So you have used microservices, okay?
Yes.
So what is the advantage of microservices? Why we are writing microservices?
We are writing microservices because initially we are creating the web application like monolithic web application.
Hmm.
So in that case, suppose if any modules doesn't work, so it will shut all the application. But in
Hmm.
microservices, suppose if any modules will goes down, so other modules will work. Like suppose in our application the card will not work, but the payment and the order and the wish list it will work. So these are the advantages by going through the microservices application.
Any other advantage?
Um, Basically, I what I observed. So this thing only like modules will not goes to failure.
Microservices can be write in multiple language.
Yes, this is also the one of the best feature.
Hmm? Right?
Yes, yes,
Any
yes.
any other?
Any other? Uh, we are using like a deployment for deployment. We are using Docker as a deployment
No, here
microservices.
Docker. Why you are going in the operating system?
Uh,
Docker is
yeah, this
a.
is sorry. Yeah, this is not proper answer, but
Hmm.
currently I'm getting these two only.
So the my question is like that. Suppose I will tell you, you just you have make any. So you have used Spring Boot, okay?
Yes.
So Spring Boot, why we are using Spring Boot rather than Spring Framework?
Uh, in Spring Framework, what we observed, like so many XML configurations are there, right?
Hmm.
So, but in Spring Boot, basically it focused on the business logic. It's a not considering the configurations and all. So in Form, we are just providing dependency, and we are not writing the configurations or not. We are basically focusing on the business logic. That's it.
You
So
aware?
that's why it's an
Ab-
extension of a Spring. It's a Spring Boot.
okay. Suppose you have a, uh, for example, you have a database and everything. So here need to be configured database related data source need to be created or not.
Yeah, we are configuring the database in like properties file in Spring Boot, and
So
whatever the database.
so that
Sorry, yeah.
is so that is the same thing work process as a like that Spring MVC. If you suppose you want to remove XML based configuration, so you write in Java based configuration.
Yes, but in XML, but in Spring, there are for
No, I am
like and we have a
I am already telling you. Just remove the XML based configuration. You use the
okay.
at the rate configuration annotation, config annotation.
Yes.
So that way
Mm-hmm.
can be go.
Configuration. No, that way we can't go. Apart from that, so many features are added in Spring Boot, like embedded container and actuator concept also added in my Spring Boot. Whatever the health check we can do with the actuators. So many dev tools also added in Spring Boot. So many features like 4 5 features starters are there in Spring Boot.
Hmm.
So these features are there. So that's why it's called extension of Spring Boot.
Okay. So
Apart from configuration, so we have so many features in Spring Boot.
for example, uh, you are using Spring Boot, right?
Yes, yes.
So suppose I want to remove uh,
Hmm.
the Spring Boot starter Tomcat dependency. Okay.
Yes.
So in that cases, I want to run the program. It will happen or not?
Um, so if I remove that, like exclude that
Tomcat
Tomcat,
dependency, yes.
okay, yes, yes. So for that, I never tried, but actually I have removed this embedded, exclude and then include some other like JT and JT
Okay,
like web
okay.
server.
I removing both JT and Tomcat. So in that
Okay,
scenario, how will run Spring Boot based application?
without server, how can we run web application?
No, without server is not possible. Server is required, but I am removing dependency. If you are adding dependency, so that means your server will be built automatically, right?
Yes, yes.
So I want to remove that dependency only. I don't want run with the dependency server.
Okay.
So
Mm.
in that case, what will happen? The program can be write and run any other way.
Any other way, like in properties file, we can pass that URL. No, no, sorry. Any other way?
Is a singleton bean is a thread safe or not?
It's a thread safe
How? You are making thread safe?
because internet.
You are making thread safe?
No, we are not making, but internally IOC will make that thread safe.
IOC how will like that make a thread safe? Because of here
Because
no.
in Spring basically like two three things improved by uh, Spring Boot.
You writing at the red bean. You aware about at the red bean?
Yes, at that I'm aware of that.
So that
At
suppose
that being like we are telling to the IOC container, please create for this class as an object, as a bean inside the IOC container.
hmm
And if I writing at that annotation bean, that means it will create the object and it will everything like creation, deletion, collaboration, everything's done by the IOC container.
so how you tell confidently it is thread safe?
Uh, because it's a how can I say?
And the singleton bean is a not thread safe,
Okay.
right? So this is the
Yes.
thing. So Manish, you want to ask anything else about finishing this interview?
No.
Okay. So okay, Manish, thank you uh, for
Thanks.
giving your valuable time. Okay.